If you're in your 20s and feel completely lost, you're not alone. You climb the steps of education and all of a sudden you're at the edge of a cliff with no idea how to fly or even which direction you should go in. Feeling lost doesn't mean you're broken. In this video, I'll share what I've learned about finding direction and discovering who I am over these last 10 years. I'll help you overcome the paralysis of choice, the comparison trap, navigate uncertainty, and discover who you are so you can move through your 20s with direction and confidence. For 18 years, we follow a path that is set out for us. Primary school, secondary school, sixth form or college, and then university. Every step was laid out for us with clear schedules, time-bounded progression, and the same goals. Study the subjects in your timetable, get good grades, and move on to the next step. But then you reach the end of the educational path and you're on your own. This is the biggest transition of your life. It's the first time you truly get to make your own decision, which is exciting and terrifying. I remember nearing the end of my master's degree and realizing that I had nothing scheduled in my calendar for the next 80 years of my life. And as someone who always had a plan, it terrified me. After years of someone telling you what's next, freedom can feel extremely scary, and brain maturation extends until the age of 25 years old, with the frontal cortex, the part of the brain responsible for decision-making, planning, and impulse control, being one of the later parts to develop. But not only is your brain not fully formed yet, but you also haven't had the opportunity to practice your decision-making skills. Think about it. How many real choices have you actually made on your own? So be kind to yourself. You don't have to arrive at your end destination yet. We're bombarded by infinite life choices. What should I prioritize? Career, relationships, travel, money, personal growth? We're paralyzed by the number of options and scared about making the wrong decision, so we make no decision at all. Psychologists have shown that when you have to choose between many different options, it becomes increasingly difficult to choose one at all, producing decision paralysis and lower satisfaction. This is called the paradox of choice. Think about trying to find something to watch on Netflix. You spend 30 minutes scrolling the different options, either to end up watching nothing at all or rewatching Friends for the 47th time. Now think about choosing a career, a city to live in, or a relationship. No wonder we feel lost. Instead of fretting over making the right decision and planning out your entire life, just take the next step. Choose to do something that your intuition tells you feels good. Each choice you make teaches you something and moves you forwards. You might try 3 jobs, 2 cities, and still feel unsure. That's not failure, that's data collection. The fog only clears when you start walking. Social media creates the pressure to follow specific timelines. You're bombarded with pictures of people getting engaged, buying a house, having kids, or getting promoted. I vividly remember feeling like I was underperforming in my career in my mid-20s. Everywhere on LinkedIn, I was seeing my peers being promoted to manager level, and although I wanted to be happy for my friends, I also couldn't help feeling a pang of pain and inadequacy with every congratulations or well done message that I sent. So many milestone events seem to happen in your 20s, but you don't have to follow the same timeline. You might feel behind because your peers are hitting milestones that you're not. But here's 3 truths. 1. You're only seeing the highlight reel of someone's life. Sure, they may have been promoted, but they may have had to work 80-hour weeks with no time for friends or family. They may own a fancy car but face crippling debt. Or they're traveling to the most beautiful places but they feel isolated and alone. You see the best bits of their life and they see the best bits of yours, but unless you speak to someone, you don't know what's going on behind that image. Number 2. Life isn't a one-dimensional thing. You can optimize for career or travel or health or family or a whole host of other different elements. To focus on one area of your life, you may have to compromise on another, and that's completely okay. You don't need to have a perfectly well-rounded life 100% of the time. You just need to choose what's right for you. And these focuses and priorities may shift in different seasons of your life. What you're prioritizing now may become less important later, and vice versa. And number 3. Success isn't a straight line to an end goal. To be honest, there isn't even an end goal. But if we just think about career for now, some people might start off slower, jumping between different junior level jobs before founding a company in their 40s and becoming CEO. Another person may fall into their dream job and very quickly get promoted up the ladder in their 20s, whilst for the majority, they will likely climb the ladder slow and steadily. The thing is, you don't know what opportunities are around the corner. You've just got to keep saying yes to the right opportunities as they present yourself and see where that leads you. Humans don't like uncertainty. It's psychologically uncomfortable and triggers a fear response in our brain. This is due to our evolutionary survival instincts, as the unknown could signal a potential threat in our environment. Bearing this psychology in mind, this is why consulting and graduate schemes are so appealing. They offer clear direction at the point where you feel you're most lost, and progression framework, so you can see exactly where you'll be in 5 years' time. But you do have to be careful that you're making the right choices for you, and you're not just being swept up in the default path and later realize that you haven't prioritized what you want. A few people choose completely unconventional paths, those where you have absolutely no idea where you'll be in 5 to 10 years. I gave self-employment a go for a few months recently and stepped into the unknown. Though I don't regret this decision to make the leap, I now do recognize that I need a little bit more structure and direction in my life. But as with most things, you don't have to choose one thing or another. Clarity versus ambiguity sit on a sliding scale, and you can choose how much certainty you need in your life. You can borrow structure for one part of your life, whilst leaving complete freedom in another area. And embracing a little bit of uncertainty, rather than fighting it, can build your stamina. That's where you discover what you actually want, not what you're told. Your 20s are the decade for self-discovery and getting to know yourself a little bit better. Right now, you may be experiencing identity confusion, as you don't truly know who you are yet. But that's what this decade is for. Figuring out who you actually are, how you see yourself, how you relate to others, and what you actually want. Use this as a time of experiment. Try different things. Different jobs, different cities, different hobbies. None of these need to be final decisions. Looking back, I can see a huge shift in my priorities from my early 20s to now. Going from nights out and climbing the corporate ladder in London to moving to Australia and focusing on my health and travel. You may experience major identity shifts as you build your own definition of success. So just take your next step. You don't need to plan your whole life out. There is no way that 10 years ago I would have predicted where I am now. So just focus on taking one small step and don't worry if it's the right one. Your 20s aren't about having it all together. They're about figuring it out as you go. Embrace the feeling of being lost and keep putting one foot in front of the other. You never know what opportunities lie around the corner.